for herself, okay? And I shared with her that you make more money than me. And I wasn't mad at that because, you know, she had come a long way. You know, she was pregnant young when most girls were still virgins. No read, no tea, no shade, but truth, right? When most girls were still virgins in their early teens. No one really liked her, right? But I loved her. I loved her. She was a sister, you know, like a sister. I got her. She took a few, you know, and let me say that again. I got her, like I saw her. I got it because, you know, we are from the same hood, right? Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, you know. We all sort of went to, if not the same challenges, something similar, right? So I got her. I knew her very well. She took a few temp jobs over the years after having her baby and everything like that and showed commitment, right? Commitment is key. Look at it. Y'all excuse me, my allergies is going haywire. I have an allergy problem. But she was committed, right? And then eventually, 2 of those jobs stuck for her and helped her to see some success. I was very proud of that for her, right? And I wanted that for her. I gave birth later, I want to say, was finishing my degree, eventually landed my career, married, you know, the whole bit, right? So we had a different path, although we were from the same hood. Who is this? My girl. Hey, oh, I know who this is. I know who this is. Thanks for the roses. Keep tapping the screens. Keep tapping the screens, guys. But hi, thank you for joining me. Listen, let me get into the story, right? So yes, you know, I eventually landed my career, you know, went and got my degree and all of that, had my baby and married, the whole shenanigans, shebang, bang, bang, right? Y'all know I'm making words. Okay, so we had a different path from the same hood, you know, granted. But again, I say, if you are from the same territory, you know, maybe you live a different life, or maybe you are, you know, living in a different home. Your environment, in your home environment is different. But somehow, some way, there are some similarities in your path. You are the one that can determine which way, you know, you know, to curve yourself to do something different. You are in charge of that, right? But, so, we both had different paths from the same hood. Pretty much, right? But I love to celebrate women. So, I believe that we all needed that, right? I believe that women need that sometimes more than most, right? And this is a huge thing for me because I coincidentally know what it's like to be a woman. Right? I coincidentally know what it's like to be a woman. Thank you, Lord. I'm a very girly girl. I love being a girl. I am such a girl, right? But I do realize, and it does, I connect with women because I know that the days can be a little tough sometimes. We bear a lot. We carry a lot, you know, and even though we are supposed to be the help me, Kim Clark. Yes, I knew it was you. Hi! Thank you. Thanks for joining me, Kim. Right? So even though we are supposed to be the help women taken care of, right? So I'm gonna get back into the story, okay? Yes, I am a big supporter of women, you know. I am a big person, you know, I try to encourage women because those are things that I want, right? And I'm a big believer of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Big support of women, yes. You know, I support women. We go through so much, and even though we are made to be help me, some women are just the help. You know, they don't have the meat. You know, they have to be the help in the meat all by themselves. So to be able to encourage a woman and say, you know, I'm proud of you, you know, I'm all for that. A few years later, I found out that that very person was making statements about me, right? Because I acknowledged that they made more money than me. Now, don't get it twisted. My money was, you know, my money was all right? I had an education. So I was making, you know, I was good. But I like the compliment, sister. I'm not in competition with you. I like you to get yours, girl. Get it. Get it. Get it. Okay? So if you getting it and you getting more than me, kudos. I'm gonna give you a dap, right? Yeah, if some of y'all don't know what a dap is, What's up? High five, you know, a dap. So I would give that to a sister. But in this particular case, right, and I went through this whole spew of the story just to give you a synopsis of what blind competition can be. Okay, so a few years later, I hear statements being made about me saying that, oh, you have more education than me, but I make more money than you. And what adult does that? Like, I'm thinking I'm being a supportive adult. You know, being supportive is supposed to be the thing, but no, just bragging about the fact that I said that you made a little more money than me, okay? I mean, I say my money was good, okay? But who's grown doing that? Watch who's watching. You will know because your competition will try to act like you. One of your good qualities, that competition, they'll try to do it. They do that, okay? And in some way, just have to learn enough about you to attempt to outdo you at being you. I have seen it and I have experienced it, right? Blind competition. If someone's screaming in your face that they have outdone you, even when the ideas were naturally yours, blind competition, right? They have not realized that they are competing with a container, right? I know y'all like they're competing with a container, a person being a container. Yes, I say you're competing with a container and enjoy what you see. And here, why? Excuse me. To really compete with someone, what we got going? What's going on? Oh, that's Mooney Long, I think, coming on. Can I just tell you, her voice is phenomenal. I love her voice. Okay, love her. But anyway. To really compete with someone, you know, you can't possibly think that, you know, your admiration for the container or your you know, imitation of the container of that person is sufficient enough to compete. No. That is not the case. See, you must have true understanding of someone's mindset to compete, all right? Because some people, their container's all they got. That's what the competitor said to the competition, right? In this case. The container is all that person has, all right? So sometimes they don't have true understanding or the mindset to compete with the person that they seek to compete, all right? Or steal or try to take their style or their you know, their lingo, or, you know, maybe the way they body language move, you know, and these things are always, they're not always flattery, you know, imitation in the form of flattery. They're not always that. Some people are utilizing this stuff about you that they're learning to just get rid of you and take part of being who you are, right? Hi, thank you for joining me. Is this Rod Harrison? Thank you for joining me tonight. I do appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get back into it. Okay, so now a person would have to trust you around them, right? To get below the surface of that container, right? Now here's where it's tricky. Y'all ever seen that movie Single White Female? A lot of women look at other women as giving them admiration, right? Oh, that's cute. They copying, you know, and they, you know, and knowing women, we want to say, well, they're doing a good job trying to do it, you know, because we always want to say, if we're the creator of something, we did it well, right? But when someone is doing it as well as you, it can be creepy, right? This poem shows that the competition had an idea of who they were competing with. Right? Because if you think about what the competition was saying, they knew exactly what to brag about. You got a nice house, I got a bigger house. You got a nice car, I got a bigger car. Your thing is fine, but look at mine. And in this case, competition didn't care if her thing on the side wasn't even invested, or his thing, because I didn't give any sex. I kept a his and a her out of the poem, you know, specifically for you to focus on the metaphor of the poem, the competitor and the competition. Okay, so you know, this person or this competition did not care who was on the side of them. You know, they didn't care if they weren't invested. And I don't know about you, but you need to be invested. And me, you need to be invested. I want to be invested in on the side of me, right? So, but this person didn't care about an investment. You know, it just looked good to him or her, right? And they wanted you to respect it. Okay, so they knew exactly what to brag about. and they went according to, how things looked on the competitor. Maybe competition knew competitor for a very long time, but they did not know enough to go beyond the surface to outdo the competitor, right? So you can only judge how things look from your own perspective because they are your eyes. And just